Caldwell Pope with it. Picked up by Rozier. Here's Wagner. And the shot is long. It's been a nice stretch for them offensively.
I mean, the communication's great. The movement's been really good. This is solid team basketball. And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Anthony against Rozier. To the paint. Here's Carter. Knocks it loose. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Adebayo. Yes, Adebayo.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Carter. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so we wrap up the first half. Heat out front as they wrap up the second quarter on a 14-4 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Andrew, what do you like about the way the team's playing so far?
We're competitive right now. We're going after it. In our possession, we're going hard.
We'll see if that continues in the second half, Andrew. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They took control in the second quarter, ending the half up by 6. Kenny, let's get your take on Miami.
They've been knocking it down from 3. You have to give the playmakers credit for consistently finding the open guy. And then, of course, their shooters have delivered. If they keep it up, they're going to be tough to beat.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Magic.
Whatever their game plan was defensively coming in, that needs to change. Can't let a team shoot for a percentage in the high 50s and expect to come out on top. It's on the coaches and the players to adjust.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. We're seeing a tremendous game from Jalen Suggs.
And the way he goes at defenders, he is bound to get to the line just like he did there in that first half.
Yeah, almost inviting contact, that attack mentality on full display.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. The Magic trail by 6. Jaime Jaquez is out there with Bam Adebayo. Then it's Duncan Robinson. Then it's Tyler Hero. And it's Ware in at the 5. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with. Shots good by Hero.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
Coaches always talk about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They have definitely increased their energy level here.
And it's the Heat on the break. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, Franz Wagner grew up in Germany, but he says one of the reasons that I went to college in the U.S. was to learn a different mentality. The game is played more competitively, and talking trash is welcome. I had it in me deep down, but that brought it out more. That combination of styles has helped him to this day. Kevin?
Great stuff, D.A. Thanks.
I'm shocked he missed that wide open look. He has to feel embarrassed he blew that one.
And Greg, the way Orlando ended last season has really fueled their fire for this year.
Yeah, I mean, a tough loss to Cleveland in Game 7 of the opening round. But it's hard to win in this league without first incurring some battle scars.
And the Heat, another three.
Bottom line, you need shooters on your team who can space the floor.
No, there's no doubt he's a legitimate threat from downtown, and he's demonstrating that in this game.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. You gotta like what Tyler Hero has done in this one.
The defense has to take the ball out of his hands. He's just knocking down every three-pointer he takes right now.
Andrew Wiggins checked in for Jaime Jaquez.
And a brief check of the stats for Banchero. Great showing for him last season. He averaged 22 points per game last season, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
Well, he looks to score, and he looks to score often.
Wagner passes to Banchero. Looking to end the run, and it's Carter missing.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Frustration seems to be mounting here, and you can see not just in their faces, but right now in their quick and hurried shot selection.
Poke loose. Here's Hero. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
Suggs kicks to Wagner. And here we go. Wiggins heading to the hoop. And Wiggins throws it down hard.
And how about the acrobatics from Andrew Wiggins? Way up that time.
And that's life above the rim, courtesy of our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And the pass to Wagner. Goes up the baseline, and so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. Anthony Black checked in for Suggs. Wagner against Wiggins. Wagner kicks to Caldwell Pope. Just 5 to shoot. From deep three-point territory. Orlando gets it back. Tipped away. Adebayo passes to Ware. A three-pointer. Wiggins. And again, Miami with the triple.
What a performance on the offensive end. He's making the defenders pay right now for all of the mistakes they're making.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. And Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, receiving a record 8-year, $120 million extension. That's some big dough.
Is it ever? It remains coaching for the only NBA franchise he's ever worked for. Already one of the most tenured head coaches in the association, and that figures to continue for a while.
And some changes here for the Heat. Highsmith has checked in, and Davion Mitchell subbed in for Duncan Robinson. Wagner's checked in for the Magic. Down low. Here's Wagner. Off the mark, and the drop continues.
This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
Well, with the confidence growing, that's one thing, but they seem to be getting more intense, and that's helping the quality of their play here.
Stolen by Mitchell. Lets it fly. Again, the Heat good for 2.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
I mean, this team is just dangerous. Right now, every shot that they're putting up feels like it's going in.
Black, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Wiggins from outside. Ware kicks to Wiggins. There's Hero with the three. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Hero's got 13 points now in the quarter. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Heat.
A high-effort brand of defense has been paying off for them in this one. They've managed to either block or alter a ton of their opponent's shots.
Man, scoring off of turnovers is so helpful. I mean, you get easy opportunities at the rim. It devastates the opponent. They've done a great job tonight of converting on those chances.
Wiggins against Wagner. Black, no good. Heat shooting it as well as you're going to see, 67%. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Quick into the air, Andrew Wiggins up and throws it down.
And Wagner's got the ball here for the Orlando Magic. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. Knocked loose. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Ware, no good. The Magic shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. Caldwell Pope on the wing. Back to Black. Orlando moving the ball around. Now Banchero. He's got 8. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And continuing to cough it up here, the TO's threatening to cost these guys the game.
And the Heat making a change here. Anderson's checked in. Orlando also making some changes. Goga Bitadze comes in for Paolo Banchero. And Anthony subbed in for Franz Wagner. The shot. Nice shot from the wing. Highsmith's got 7.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Stolen by Mitchell. And now the fast break. Mitchell with the ball. And then Mitchell with the dunk.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Poked away. 4 seconds left. And it's Miami with another.
And yeah, he's not messing around. He wants no part of a comeback in this one.
Well, he's grabbed the tee and a blanket because he's putting this one to bed.
And so it's the Miami Heat able to put on a show for the Agents. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And so in the game for the Magic, they've got Black. He's out there with Jonathan Isaac. And it's Queen into the 2.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
And Anderson gets it to go.
Anderson, he excels when he plays in the open court like that and has a chance to make a good decision.
The Magic shooting here about 46% for the game. That's tipped, nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
And what a turnaround from the first half. I mean, he's been incredible here in the second half.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
To the middle. Here's Bitadze. And nothing is falling for him right now. Heat have gotten all three of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Mitchell passes to Love for the three. And the Heat, another three.
He was sitting back a little bit there in the first half, but feels like showtime now, and he's ready to put some major points up on the board.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Stolen by Anderson. And that one's good. Love.
Really their own worst enemy right now with all these turnovers.
It's been a pretty tough stretch for them.
And this will be an important possession. It's really essential. They put a stop to this run, and the best way to do it is by great execution.
Anderson wide open. That's in there. Love with the assist. Anderson's got 5 points now this quarter. Anthony against Mitchell. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Mitchell. And now the fast break. Mitchell with the ball. And again, Miami with the triple.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Now here's Anthony. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Knocked away. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Love. Paolo Banchero's checked in for Orlando.
Banchero.
4 on the shot clock. Anthony can't hit. The Heat have gone 7 of 7 from the field to start the final quarter. What an amazing start. And the Heat, another three.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
And here's Banchero. He'll bring it up for the Orlando Magic. They have yet to put up any points here in the fourth. An idea of voter fatigue, Brent. Do you feel voters get tired of the same guy winning every single season?
Yeah, I think they do, Kevin. And it's a shame because 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, those players looking back at the statistics from any given season deserve to be the MVP or all defense. And I hope that maybe that atrophy doesn't take place this year.
And here's Mitchell from the arc. And his hot hand continues. 10 of 11 from the floor and looking for more.
So many of the plays they're running designed to create opportunities from deep.
And I don't know how they keep doing this, but every time down, the resulting possession ends up at the three-point line and a fairly efficient shot attempt at that.
A three-pointer is right on target.
Yeah, that's way back there as Duncan Robinson sets up solid.
And Robinson comes to help inside. Here's Anthony. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
And he's already patted himself on the back and forgot to put the ball there in the basket.
Pass to Adebayo. Good ball movement here by Miami. Goes back up. Again, the Heat good for 2.
Anderson.
There's 1:47 left to play here in the fourth. Stolen by Anderson. He kicks to Robinson. Puts up a deep three. The Heat get it back. And a new 14 from the arc. And the three ball is good. Robinson's got 6 here in this quarter.
That's his game right there. Robinson, one of the more deadly shooters in the NBA.
Suggs passes to Anthony. Here's Wagner. Rebound by the Heat.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Miami.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Davion Mitchell.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
Now that's two teammates who need to reintroduce themselves to one another, not on the same page.
Wiggins is checked in for the Heat. 46 seconds left in the fourth. And here's Mitchell from the arc. And again, Miami with the triple.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Anthony against Mitchell. Got a piece of it. And Mitchell with a clear path to the hoop. Jumps up. Oh, and the dunk by Mitchell.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
Yeah, huge motivation. Always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game.
And stolen by Wiggins. Lays it up and banks it in.
Clean handles from Wiggins, puts his man on skates.
Knocks it loose. Mitchell with it. Wiggins finds Mitchell. The kick out to Anderson. Off the mark. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Bam. Congrats on the win. This arena was rocking tonight. What difference does it make when they're loud like this?
Man, this place get the rocking, man. I love it playing in front of Miami Heat fans, man. That's so wonderful, bro. And they stay behind us 24/7 no matter what, and we can't thank them enough for that.
Yeah, you fed off of them tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, David. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.
All the trend, she ain't never on the fence. Gucci handbag, brother. What she spent was like your rent. Help your man's out, brother. He look broken in a. Watch your words to him, riding with a in a pit.
Boy, you better watch the way you talking to me. Hello? Come through with that beat, cause I ain't working for free. Hello? I got a bunch of bad, they all with me. I got love for put my neck on freeze. Who that said they with me right now? Who that said they my being honest? Ain't nobody my I promise. Got a lot of options, but my is the hottest. Ha.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? I used to pray for times like this.
And you're still with the same franchise. If you could go back and tell that guy anything or that kid anything, that something that you know now, what would you tell him?
I wouldn't tell him anything.
No, you would just let him.
I wouldn't tell him anything. Because that would have thrown him off. I would have been like, yo, who's talking to me, one? And two, I probably would have tried to change, no, just stick with it.
We talked a little bit about your My Player build. You'd want fast and small. Anything else that you'd want on the My Player build? A guard, maybe?
Be a two guard. I don't want to bring it up.
Okay.
I'll be a two guard. I want the ball every single time. That sounds nice.
Well, we're wrapping up now, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on 2K TV. Always a pleasure. Year 7, year 8, year 9, all off.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. And tonight, we'll see the Miami Heat as they go up against the Charlotte Hornets here at Spectrum Center. Alongside Hall of Famer Grant Hill and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce joins us from the sidelines. And the starting lineup for Miami, Duncan Robinson is out there with Tyler Hero. Then it's Andrew Wiggins. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Ware in at the center position. And for the Hornets, Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Miles Bridges is out there with Williams. And it's Okogie in at the 3. It's still early in the season, Grant, but most coaches have their rotations worked out by now.
They really do, but if they don't, they better figure it out soon. You don't want to be tinkering with your lineups any later than this.
And so off the tip, it's Miami. Adebayo with it. He's picked up by Miller. Back to Adebayo. Let's go with a 3. Count it. 1 for 1 to start the game.
Well, clearly Adebayo's feeling very confident firing out there from the perimeter.
Pass to Okogie. Bridges with it. Tipped away. Wiggins for 3. Yes. And it's Adebayo picking up the assist.
Well, he saw the defender back, and he got the look he liked from 3 and capitalized.
Here's Miller. Tipped. Hero outside. Into the lane. And he dunks it down.
Well, there he is showing off his speed. Hero cuts to find the basket.
Here's Charlotte. 8-point game. They come into this one following the loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, I think they'd like to forget that game. You usually want to find some teaching moments, but in this case, it might be best to just destroy the tape.
Well, everyone has off nights. They just need to make sure that they bounce back strong.
Now here's Miller. Coming off a 28-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
Yeah, and his facilitating was also extremely impressive. He was outsmarting the defense and easily connecting with ready shooters.
Probably should have scored there. He usually does.
And right away, Brandon Miller showed that he was a star in the making, Grant.
Yeah, he's a 3-level scorer, B.A. He's very fluid as a player, and he makes the game look so easy. And he hasn't even grown into his body yet.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
I caught up with Coach Charles Lee. I asked him outright if he had a plan for Tyler Hero. Coach let me in on their strategy, saying, quote, "We just have to cause problems for him on defense, hand in the face, crowd him, anything to discourage him from taking shots. So he hopes they can keep Tyler quiet by hassling him all night long." Back to you.
Allie, thank you. Wiggins for 3, and again it's Miami from deep.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
And around 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Now a timeout called by Charlotte. This, their first chance to take a look at the Heat this season.
And these two teams will face off against one another 4 times. It should be fun.
Well, these are the games you get up for, regardless of how you played late.
And the first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Okogie, the pass to Ball. Will it go? And it's Miami with a rebound. Grant, the Hornets are a team hoping to end a pretty substantial playoff drought.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they made a buzz in the postseason, but their return could be closer than people think. A few smart moves here or there might be all it takes.
Ball against Hero. Wiggins for three. And the Heat, another three.
3 points.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
Well, our coaching staff has to be happy with how active they've been defensively, forcing turnovers and making the offense uncomfortable.
And they've done a tremendous job just creating havoc defensively. Active hands have led to tons of turnovers that they've capitalized on.
Hero with the bucket.
And early on, they've been on a tear, just getting whatever they want offensively.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how you want to start a game, with a big offensive push.
Here's Robinson, and a big finish by Robinson.
Well, you know, it's already tough to play like this at home, but it's even tougher to do so on the road.
It sure is. They've certainly accepted the challenge. The trick now is to sustain this effort.
Now a timeout called by Charlotte. And one thing's for sure, when Duncan Robinson is on the court, he has the greenest of green lights, Coach.
Yeah, Brian, look, he's one of the most lethal shooters around. He draws intense defensive attention, and then he's added to his game as a passer and as a guy who can take the ball to the basket.
And he's checked in for Ball. Terry Rozier, he's checked in for Miami. And here we have last season's best free throw shooting teams. Fifth, the Heat.
Well, as a coach, it's a relief knowing free throws are almost automatic for your guys.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
3-second violation. Heat ball.
Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Charlotte. Williams comes in for Miller.
Yusuf Nurkic. Grant Williams.
Miami dominating the game. Hero for three. And again, Miami with a triple.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Now here's man, tightly guarded, stolen by Rozier. He stops, he pops, and there's another one for the Heat.
This has been just a dreadful start for them defensively. Not good at all.
Outside man.
2 minutes remaining.
Williams passes to Bridges, and stolen by Adebayo. Here's Rozier, and it's flushed down. A nice jam.
They've been very effective so far. A balanced attack at its best.
Yeah, now it's all about maintaining this lead, but you can't start playing it safe. You got to keep attacking and executing.
And there's the 8-second violation as they can't get it across half court in time.
Here in the first quarter, they have struggled with turnovers.
Smith, he's checked in for Charlotte. And so the ball out of bounds. Hero touched it last.
Well, that's an unforced error. If you want to drive your coach crazy, that's the way to do it.
Now here's man, pounded by Rozier. Got a piece of it, stolen by Rozier. And he lays it in on the break. Rozier's got 6 points.
Hey, they're causing turnovers, and then they're taking advantage at the other end.
Well, Coach, how about the Eric Spoelstra story? Started as a video coordinator with the Heat back in '95. You were an assistant in Miami back then.
Yeah, look, Brian, even then, Eric is one of the rare guys that all of us on the staff knew right from the beginning that he had all the makings of a great coach. Players trusted him and had confidence in his ability to help them.
From the video room to the Hall of Fame one day.
No question.
Stolen by Rozier. Sinks it from distance. He's got 9.
They continue to lose the turnover battle.
For Charlotte, they've gone 0 for 5 to begin this game. The ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Hero. From deep. Hero on the wing. Lets it go from deep. Another basket. He's now 6 for 7 in the contest.
He's putting on a show this quarter, and the team's feeding off his energy.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Outside man. Oh, they get a hand on it. Stolen by Hero. Shot is up. And Miami again with the bucket.
Once again, a turnover leads to points.
17 seconds left in the opening quarter. Knocked away. To stop the drought. Bridges misses. Here's Adebayo. Good! Without a second to spare.
Oh, you gotta have some real nerve to hit that shot.
What poise, what focus. That's an impressive shot.
And so it's Miami showing no mercy and just piling it on, looking dominant and focused right now. And they've been shooting the lights out from the arc. All those threes have this poised for a blowout. Back to the game after this break. Welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And for the Heat here, they've been putting on a show.
Oh, what a first quarter. You love their willingness to make the extra pass.
Yeah, it's the kind of offense every coach loves to see. Selfless and smart.
And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Well, guys, teams are all grappling with this new CBA, especially the dreaded second apron. Fans possibly unclear on what it means. Honestly, even front offices are still navigating the complexities of the new restrictions. But basically, it has become harder for teams to spend big and acquire new players under the current systems. We'll see, guys, how this impacts everyone moving forward.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. All right, Shams, thanks a lot. They've got Williams. LaMelo Ball is out there with Trey Mann. Then it's Josh Okogie, and it's Nurkic in at the 5. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hornets. Here's Adebayo. Ball with the rebound.
How does such an elite finisher not throw that down? I'm confused.
Pass to Okogie. Now man, hounded by Wiggins. And out of bounds. Charlotte will have it.
Hornets ball.
So for the Hornets, Mark Williams, he's checked in for Nurkic, and Miller subbed in for Mann. And Miami also making a switch. Mitchell's checked in. And their biggest problem so far, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, they've made some great plays, but way too many turnovers.
Now here's Adebayo. He's got 5. No good on the 3. Here's Charlotte now. They'll be hosting Toronto for their next one, and that'll be their second of 4 total games at home. from deep three-point range. Offensive rebound, Heat. Ooh, pops the J after a cagey pass fake. Adebayo's gotten his third basket of the night. For Charlotte, they've got none of their first 3 shots to fall so far in the second. At 6'9", Bam Adebayo is on the shorter side of centers. Yet he is elite defensively, Grant.
He's been top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting a bunch of times. Bam has an incredible motor, a great IQ, and he's a switchable big. That's huge in today's game.
Miami has gone 1 of 4 from three-point land here in the second. Here's Jaquez. Sinks it. What range from downtown.
3 points.
Jaquez has got his first 3 points of the game. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Here's a great quote from Coach Eric Spoelstra, who said, "The Miami Heat culture is a system based on discipline and hard work. We stand for something. That's competition. That's winning. We feel that there's a championship DNA that you can develop." And Brian, they walk the walk.
One of the great organizations in the league, Allie. Rozier gets the bucket.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
Here are the Hornets with the ball. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Pass to Okogie. And stolen by Adebayo. On the break. Here's Jaquez. And he slams it in one-handed.
And it hasn't just been their stellar offense. Their defense has been effective as well.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
Williams misses.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Adebayo from long range. And again, it's Miami from deep.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
Stolen by Mitchell. Fast break, Miami. Here's Rozier. And that one is hammered home.
And could be a prolific night for Rozier. He's going on the attack and getting rewarded for it.
And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for Charlotte. Ball's doubled. Pass to Miller. Oh, got a piece of it. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Miller. And a quick look at how Charlotte's schedule is shaping up. On Wednesday, they'll host the Toronto Raptors. Then on Friday, they'll be matching up with Drew Holiday and the Boston Celtics.
And for their matchup with the Celtics, that one will mark game number 6 for them in the NBA season. We'll see if there are any adjustments between now and then to the rotation.
Hornets ball.
And now let's glance at the league's most aggressive defensive teams from last year. Miami, 3rd.
They made life hard on opponents. One of the best defenses in the NBA last year.
Outside, Williams. Pass to Ball. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Rozier. And another fast break for Miami. The Heat running. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
They're simply not missing. Unreal.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
On the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, good looks by our terrific camera crew. Ball left side. To stop the run. That's tipped. Goes up with it again. The rebound by Ware. Ware's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And right now they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with this.
His strong shooting has really helped them secure this lead.
And in recent seasons, Grant, almost no team's been hit by the injury bug as much as the Hornets.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, you wonder what they could have done if they'd stayed healthy. They built the team around key players, and those guys have just missed a lot of time.
And again, it's Miami from deep.
Slowly building up steam. Hit 1 from range in the first. He's hit 2 here in the second.
Ball with it. Guarded now by Mitchell. Stolen by Mitchell. From deep three-point land. Offensive board. From deep three-point land. From beyond the arc and then some. Mitchell's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Poked loose. Oh, it's stolen by Mitchell. 8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Drains the triple.
Well, after a silent first quarter, this is who they needed him to be. This is why you never count a guy out.
Nabbing another steal. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end. You gotta love it. Hard to win games when you allow clean looks from the perimeter.
And it's the Hornets' ball. Ball looks over the floor.
Heat foul. Davion Mitchell. First personal foul. First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Here's Okogie. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. And so a pretty lopsided game for the first half. It's the Heat just dominating this one. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Guys, thanks. Andrew, this team has set the tone at the defensive end. What's working for you?
We just got after it. That's the main thing. We just try to make them uncomfortable. We tested everything. And, we were converting on the other side.
It's all about the effort. Back to you.
Appreciate it, Allie. And we'll be coming right back after this break. Ready for the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Things were going Miami's way from the beginning. They ended up scoring 14 unanswered points, really doing damage early. The effort, the intensity, impressive. At the end of the first quarter, they found themselves way out on top. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. Quality execution, good efficiency, some tremendous defensive play helped them take a decisive advantage, and they're running away with this one. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, they were completely in rhythm shooting the basketball. Just watching the flow of their offense, everything clicked into place. Fantastic shot selection. They took advantage of everything the defense gave them.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
And one of the main reasons they're down right now is because of their rebounding problems. They're getting outworked, outclassed, not bringing the intensity, not willing to get their hands dirty. They're playing like wimps.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. How about Tyler Hero displaying all of his skills today?
He's been so disruptive defensively in the first half. His fast hands pick plenty of pockets.
And because of that, I expect to see a huge emphasis on ball control moving forward.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. And on the floor for Eric Spoelstra starting the second half. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Bam Adebayo. Then there's Tyler Hero. Then there's Mitchell. And it's Ware in at the 5, down low. Now here's Bridges. No points yet.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
Mitchell with the ball. He's picked up by Miller. Puts up a deep 3. And the rebound goes to Charlotte. Here's Okogie. Adebayo grabs the board. Stan, you're the son of a coach. Your dad was a great coach at the collegiate level. What was the best advice you ever received from him?
Well, Brian, the one that has always stuck with me is he told me in my first season, if you think you've got all the answers, it's only because you don't know all the questions. And I think that's true in everything, not just basketball.
Knocked loose. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Ware. And again, it's Miami from deep.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
And here we go, the Heat fast break. The Heat rebound. Inside. Back to Hero. Wiggins for three. Ball with the rebound. Ball's got 4 rebounds now. Here's Miller. The kick out to Ball. Shot clock at 6. Second chance effort. Rebound Miami. Ware's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
Well, 4 failed attempts to start this half. Not what they wanted out of the locker room.
Wow, 5 consecutive threes. This defense looking very frustrated right now.
And your first NBA coaching job was with the Miami Heat, Stan. That was as an assistant back in the 90s, just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few, Brian. And the Heat have changed a lot. The game has changed a lot over those years. Look, back then, the Heat were probably the most physical team in the NBA, and it was just knockdown, drag-out fights all the time.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, Brandon Miller caught some flack when he named Paul George as his GOAT, but PG-13 said, I know what he meant by it. Obviously, I'm not the greatest of all time, but it's about who inspires you. Miller, for his part, not backing down and saying, how the league is built now, Paul George is the right person to study for this generation. Brian?
Allie, thanks. Some changes for Charlotte. Nurkic comes in for Williams, and it's Mann in for Okogie. Robinson, he's checked in for Miami. And Wiggins has got the ball here for Miami. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Hero with the bucket.
They've been pretty lax with their perimeter defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers.
Hero against Ball. Ball's doubled. On the wing man. To the middle. Here's Nurkic. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Miami has got 4 of 8 attempts to fall from deep here in the third quarter. Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one. Hero's got 30 points.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Now here's Mann. He's scoreless. Fast break Miami. The deep three. Here's Wiggins. And he taps it home with authority.
And quickness to the ball. Wiggins has elite traits, and you saw them in that sequence.
2 minutes remaining.
Going all the way to the rack. A clear look for Hero. Again, the Heat score. All right, guys, what's your take on the hustle stats for the Heat?
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
Well, another thing they've been doing right in this one is making the most of turnovers. Lots of points for them tonight off of them.
Now here's Miller.
The other team just looks more in sync and is riding the momentum.
Their body language does not look good right now. They're deflated and unable to stop this run.
Just another thing that Bam brings to your team, the ability to knock down jumpers.
To the wing on the left to win the drought. Ball no good.
Well, he can't buy a bucket, but it's time to find other ways to help his team win.
And given LaMelo Ball is 6'7", how does this give him an advantage at his position, Greg?
Well, B.A., he's able to score on smaller guards, as well as see over them and find his teammates. His height and quick decision-making are real weapons.
Robinson passes to Adebayo. That one falls. 8 of 10 and scoring with confidence.
Man, they're really starting to turn things up offensively now.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Out of bounds. It'll go to the Hornets.
Hornets ball.
And Charlotte making a change here. Smith's checked in. Anderson's checked in for Miami. Highsmith comes in for Wiggins. They haven't looked like themselves the last few possessions.
They haven't. This is when they really need to be patient and get a clean look.
And out of bounds. Charlotte will have it. Miami making a switch here. Rozier's checked in.
Rozier.
29 seconds left in the third. Right side man. Who poked away. Stolen by Rozier. From deep. Gets the three to fall.
3 points.
And the Hornets with possession here. They're scoreless since the first half. Pass to Nurkic. And here's Miller. Poke loose. Launches it from deep. No good. Would have counted had it gone. Tyler Hero has been on display for the Heat. His fingerprints were all over that quarter. 13 points, leading the charge. We'll be back in a moment. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
You talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
Wow, that was an absolute masterpiece of an assist. He knew exactly when to deliver the ball, and it made for a beautiful score.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Well, the Heat's shooting an out-of-this-world 77%. They've got Yusuf Nurkic, Smith out there with Seth Curry, and it's Williams, and it's Jeffries in at the 3 spot. So that's the group out there for Charlotte. Now here's Curry. Not watching the line there. It'll be a backcourt violation.
It's so easy to get frustrated when you make mistakes, but you have to keep battling.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Mitchell deciding where to go with it. And again, Miami with a triple.
Their defense has to do a better job of smothering those shooters.
Stolen by Mitchell. And the ball out of play. The Hornets will have it. And here's Charlotte now. Smith outside. Robinson with a steal. Fast break. Here come the Heat. Count it. Good.
Duncan. No hesitation on the break. That's been an advantage for them.
And a big issue for them, turnovers.
Yeah, you just can't give away possessions in this league.
And there's the call. It's on Bam Adebayo. That's his first foul. Now that we have a few years of reference, it's safe to say the NBA play-in tournament has been a roaring success, Grant.
Yeah, I agree, B.A. And people forget it was created in the peak of the pandemic. The league set up a lifeline for teams that lost key players to COVID, but it has turned into something much, much greater.
Shot by Nurkic, no good. The Heat on offense. It's been 8 unanswered for them. And the Heat, another 3.
They're really employing a deep-range initiative here in the fourth, and it's working.
Yeah, it's always a little risky to lean this hard on the three-point shot, but when you're knocking them down, you might as well keep riding.
Stolen by Anderson. Robinson with it, guarded by Smith. Robinson passes to Mitchell. Back to Robinson. Now Mitchell. Love with the ball. Defended by Nurkic. Mitchell. And there's another one for the Heat.
He drops yet another dime. Just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
The ball's knocked loose. Robinson with a steal. The 3 from Mitchell. And again, Miami with a triple.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
And a big finish by Robinson.
They're simply not missing. Unreal.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
Robinson with a steal. And again, Miami with a triple.
Well, his offense is carrying them right now. And even with the defense keying on him, he's making great adjustments on the fly.
Now here's Smith. Pass to Jeffries. Nurkic inside. Love's there. They get it back. Shot by Nurkic. No good.
Well, you can tell he's forcing things a bit at the moment. He's been trying to get it going, but this hasn't been his quarter.
Counted from distance.
3 points.
Slow and steady. Anderson just goes about his business.
Smith against Robinson. To the inside. Can they get it? Anderson pulls it down.
Man, miss after miss for him. When you're having a quarter like this, the only beneficiary is the defense. And you don't need a roadmap when he's got open court in front of him like that.
Well, the best way to attack is in transition. He recognizes that.
It's good.
They're just taking what the defense gives them. And right now, that's the interior.
That's tipped. Mitchell with the ball. Now guarded by Curry. Jumps up. Oh, and Mitchell powers it home.
And that was a case of great anticipation skills on defense, sparking the transition game.
Well, as a coach, you're always telling your guys to play hard. That's what we mean.
And how about our AT&T 5G Slam Cam? Couldn't have captured that play any better. Here's Jeffries. And it's Miami with a rebound. Anderson's got 4 rebounds now. Here's Robinson. That one's good. Mitchell making the play.
Assist from
Mitchell's got 4 assists now tonight.
It had to be lightning quick, and Robinson got it away.
2 minutes.
Now here's Curry. Williams misses. Robinson against Smith. The Heat rebound. Love finds Robinson. Up and over Smith. And there's another one for the Heat.
Well, when Robinson's having a game like this, it's tough to slow his roll.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hornets will retain possession. Okogie's checked in for Charlotte. Ball comes in for Curry. And Miami with a change here, too. Jaime Jaquez is checked in for Highsmith. A minute 35 left in the game. Ball. That one's off. Still out of sync.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Heat.
And as we see the game wind down, you have to remember all the second chance buckets this team put on the board.
They definitely won it with their offensive rebounding. We watched them attack the ball and turn misses into makes all game long.
And this one concludes with their second victory of the year.
It's just the start of this season series with 3 games left between them. But it must feel great to take the first lead.
And even the opposing fans can't deny this was a sensational game for Tyler Hero.
Yeah, and I loved his attitude tonight. He really had that scorer's mentality. Absolutely no one was stopping him.
And Charlotte making a change here. Williams is checked in. And Miami with a change here, too. Highsmith checked in. Out of bounds. Hornets ball as Charlotte keeps possession. .107 left in the fourth quarter. Clock at 6. Here's Okogie. Oh, they get a hand on it.
And they're ahead right now because they're working so hard on the glass.
Yeah, they're winning the possession battle, and that's often what decides games in the NBA.
That's an inspired ball club. They fought hard, and during the most important moments, they made big plays.
Yeah, they saved their best basketball for this home stretch, and they certainly earned this one.
And Kyle Anderson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Smith in the high post, working on Robinson. Smith passes to Ball. 6 on the shot clock. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ball. .30 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. The three from Mitchell, and the three-pointer goes.
Excellent effort on the road. They've literally sucked the energy out of this arena.
Yeah, and winning games on the road is huge, especially when you get them in such a convincing fashion.
To end the cold spell. Here's Williams. And that one hits the back iron. It's Anderson on the wing. Pass to Highsmith. Again, the Heat score.
And since the halftime break, their offense has just been on another level.
Well, the coaching staff made some adjustments for the second half, and they've come out with focus and execution.
So no problem for Miami as they get the win. Boy, this crowd has to be shocked by the way their team was dismantled.
Shocked and surprised. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to just waltz in and cruise to the type of victory like we saw tonight.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. With Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding.